Hi, my name is Abigail Smith. My friends and family call me Abby for short. Today we are going to be going over what roles I believe special educators have and what certain dispositions do I think I already have and which ones I probably need to work on. Um, and then we're also going to be going over what biases special educators can possibly have with their students and how that can affect their relationship with their student and their family. To begin, we're going to go over what roles I think special educators need to be very successful in their field. And special educators have tons of roles. I mean, there's no limit, but some important ones I believe is to respect their students and understand that they could have different sensitivity to certain subjects or might need more help than others, and feeling okay maybe coming up with different ways to teach them, different alternatives. Testing is an example. If one is struggling reading, probably shouldn't give them a huge reading assignment. Things like that. You got to be more open-minded and able to listen and adjust when needed to. I also think, with that being said, special educators should be fair. Now, when I say that, I mean not equal to each student, because equality is a huge problem that people face today. They think if you're equal to someone, then you should be good, but I don't think that's the case. It's more about equity, giving that person the tools they need. Now, giving one student a certain tool might not be the same tool that you need to give another student. So, like, focusing more on what that individual needs and making sure they're able to get it. Another role I think they should have is their ethical behavior should be outstanding. They should be a good role model. They're the leader of their classroom. They should be able to have positive feedback, always staying positive, because many of those students don't like being positive or they struggle with it. So as a teacher, it is our job to be that positive person for them. Also being open to feedback. When you're a special educator, you work with a lot of people. If it comes from speech pathologists, other co-teachers, paraprofessionals, etc., you got to be able to listen and take in that advice and give it when needed. Nobody's perfect, and in the special education field, it changes a lot. So getting any feedback or help you can, I think you need to be okay listening and taking that in. Another one is being honest. This is something I kind of struggle with, and we'll get into that later, but being honest, making sure that you're very blunt and speaking up for the student when they need to be spoken up for, and telling them what they need, or telling a paraprofessional what they need to do better for that student. It kind of stinks at times. I think that's one of the hardest parts of this job, but being honest is key and a huge role in being a special educator. Also, being compassionate, being there to support the student. It's a struggle. We're in an uncomfortable community, and making sure that they're comfortable would make it a lot better for them to come into the classroom every day and more likely to open up to that individual if they make them feel comfortable. I mean, even general ed students, they like feeling comfortable. I mean, I get we want to get them outside of their comfort zone, but if you can be that compassionate person, it might make it a little easy for them down the road. Also, making sure that we always find ways to better the community. Like I said earlier, there's no perfect classroom. Always taking in, always looking up things, reading journals, staying up to date on things. I mean, there's so many new advances in technology that we can keep up to date, but I mean, just keeping up with current events and all that good stuff. Also being very dedicated. This is something that I think I thrive in. Being dedicated in this field is huge because it also shows compassion and that you're not one to mess around with. Other people, like other coworkers or colleagues, will notice that, and they'll hopefully be as dedicated as you. But if you're dedicated and you mean what you are, this is the field for you. Because if you're not, then you're wasting your time. There's going to be countless hours, countless IEP meetings, staying after school, reaching out to families, and if you're not ready for that, then I don't think you're ready for this field. The next question, what dispositions do I think I have currently? And that I, again, will state is dedication. I think I'm dedicated to this field. I've had a sister for now 18 years. I've known that she's had a disability for about 16 of those years. If I was not dedicated to this field, I would not be doing it. I mean, a lot of people tell me today that I they don't understand why I want to continue to be in this field, because I do have an autistic sister at home. They just feel like it's a lot, but I don't think so. I love the population. I love all the different characteristics of students. I'm prepared to put in the hours. I've been working in a school for about 3 years now with a special ed program. If it's behavioral, I've worked with them. If it's just multi-needs, I've been there. I'm ready and I'm eager to begin this journey. One thing I do think I need to work on would be honesty. I'm more of a person to beat around the bush. I mean, I'm not very blunt. I don't like hurting people's feelings, but in this field sometimes I think it's necessary, especially with like coworkers or colleagues, or breaking news to families. It's just something that I've struggled with in the past and I'm hoping to get better at. But I think a lot of people try not to hurt people's feelings, and the ones who don't, they thrive in this field. So I'm looking forward to getting to other classrooms and learning from other teachers and how to better that. Now, the third and final question is, what effect do biases have on the student and teacher relationship? Now, I think if I am biased about a student, then I am kind of sending them back. I think that based off of records that they're coming in, this is the first time I'm meeting them, based off records, if I see that there are poor reports and all that, I would possibly have this fear that they're going to be a poor student. But that is not fair to that student, because a lot could change in that little bit of time. And who's to know if that person doing the report caught them on a bad day? I mean, a new day, new student, you never know. So to hold biases, you're kind of being unfair to the student. So it's not good to have, and it's good to go in with a clean slate each day, because you don't know how the student's going to be each day. I mean, one day Timmy can be great, and the next day he can be struggling a little bit. Holding these biases on the day before is not fair to the student, and if special educators did that, then they would be holding themselves back and their students. So it's not very fair, and it would ruin your mood. If you're a special educator who struggles with coming in each day with a clean slate, then you're going into the next day however you felt the day before. It's not fair to the students or the teachers. And it can also affect the relationship you have with their families, because if they get a sense of feel that you're biased about their child, they might feel uncomfortable coming with you for any help, and they may need help. Or if you as an educator think that the family isn't set for that child, then you don't really know what's going inside. They could be, and you could be 100% right, but holding those biases or holding them biased is not fair, unless you know for sure something is happening consistently. But very rarely do you see it. I know it's possible. In the schools I've worked with, we really have not seen families mistreating their children, but I do know it's possible, and that's why we're made aware of these things, and we've taken training to work with students who have had rough families, and I hope I never have to deal with it, because it's sad, but I'm not going to hold a family bias on one event. It would have to be multiple. So